And I would say all of us in here, in all 4 of these rooms, all of us have this desire for greatness, right? Like, I mean, we want to do something. We want to make a difference in the world. Don't you guys want to make a difference in the world? You want to do something, right? That's why you're at college, because you wanted to get a degree, and you want to go out into the world and do something great. And you want to leave some sort of legacy, and you want to change the world. And I asked you a minute ago, if you had $1 million, what would you do? You've got ideas. If I had $1 million, I don't know, I'd do something awesome. I'd want to change the world. Or it's like that classic question, would you rather be rich or famous? You guys rather be rich or famous? Rich? Who wants to be rich? A couple people. Who wants to be famous? I'm in the famous category. A lot less people. But these desires to be rich, to be famous, to do something great, to change the world, to make a difference in the world, Jesus is saying that's not bad. I like those desires. I'm fine with those desires. It's just how you define it. I mean, for me, I don't need a statue of myself. But if people want to read my prayer journals in 100 years, and if I write a couple books between now and then, I wouldn't be upset with that. I'd be happy if I made a lasting impact on the world. If I was able to change the world in some way, I would be okay with that. And what Jesus says is, this desire, James and John, your desire to be great is a good desire. But the way you're measuring greatness is wrong. You've gone about measuring greatness the wrong way, and you think that greatness means aspiring to the pinnacle of power, sitting on my right and my left. That's not what greatness is. You know, the way the world measures greatness, how we are taught to measure greatness is through letters. If you want to be great, you've got to have letters next to your name. CEO, CFO, COO, and any other C word. PhD, MD, DNP, PharmD. These are the letters that the world says define success. Or it says look at numbers. Look at the numbers in your bank account. Or look at the numbers of your Twitter followers or your Instagram, the people that like your Instagram posts. Or look at the numbers on the scale and what they say. These are the things that the world tries to say define success. But the Jesus way of defining success is something entirely different. And a lot of times at college, I think we think of service as a way to become great. So we come and we're part of Greek life, and we think, well, I'm going to do my service hours because it's going to keep me in good relationship with my fraternity or my sorority, and that's going to help me one day get a job because I'll know some people, I'll make some connections through here. And there's nothing wrong with that, but we use service as a vehicle for keeping relationships. Or we think, hey, I want to get into professional school of some sort. And so I want my application to look competitive and to look good, and I want schools to consider me. So I think of service as helping my application get good. Service is a means towards an end. And what Jesus is going to do is he's going to say, service isn't a means towards greatness. Service isn't the road to greatness. Service is greatness. If you want to be great in this world, if you want to make a difference, if you want to change lives, if you want your life to count for something, then you've got to learn how to serve. And this is how Jesus says it. In verse 42, he says this. Jesus called all his disciples together, and he says, listen, guys, you know that those who are regarded as rulers of the Gentiles lord it over them, and their high officials exercise authority over them. Basically, you know that with other people ruling, they rule by this measure of success that we just talked about. But not so with you. Instead, whoever wants to become great, whoever aspires towards greatness, and Jesus wants us to aspire towards great things. Whoever aspires to become great among you must be your servant. Jesus says if you want to become great, become a bondservant of every single person around you. Doesn't matter if you like them or not. Doesn't matter if they're cool or not. Doesn't matter if they drain your emotional energy or not. Doesn't matter if they get on your nerves or they don't. You become their servant, their bondservant. That's the way to become great. These are the pictures Jesus gives for greatness here in this part. And so he says, serving others is what greatness truly is. The measure of success is not letters by our name. The measure of success is not the numbers we achieve. It's will we become a waiter? Will we become a servant, a bondservant of others?